Team Ramden Store Managers. I'm Kenny, District Manager for Long Island, and wanted to talk to you today. There's a reinvigoration about really having not just good but spectacular playbook meetings. I'm in my Riverhead store and Donald's filming this. He's not going to say anything. Woo! But Donald Ferdinand is one of the best managers that I've ever been around in terms of having consistent, just unbelievably outstanding playbook meetings. He does just a phenomenal job week in and week out. I'm sure he's going to bring that same flavor here to Riverhead. So wanted to just give a few hints and tips. I'm not going to be that long. Just give a few hints and tips on what you should be doing as the leader in your store to ensure that every single Thursday morning you have a phenomenal playbook meeting that carries you through that Thursday, that weekend, and gets your teams really riled and pumped up. So a couple of things. The first thing is be consistent. Do not cancel playbook meetings unless there's a snowstorm, things like that. Make sure that you are consistently there early, that your team knows that Thursday mornings, 8 a.m., I know I've got to be there. So make sure that there's a consistency there. The playbook, this was something that we talked about from the field and headquarters really listened to us. The playbook now posts early. I think all of you know that. It posts on Tuesday evenings. It used to post on Wednesday evenings, and it didn't give you much time to prep on Thursdays. So now it posts on Tuesdays. You have all day Wednesday to really prep and take a look at the playbook and really go through the agenda and what are going to be your key points and items that you want to talk about to your team. So make sure that you print that out on Tuesday, evening before you leave or if you're closing. And this way you can spend a good part of the day on Wednesday prepping for that meeting on Thursday. I want to give this advice also as you're going through, involve others. It shouldn't just be you talking. No one wants to hear that, no matter how good you are at talking. No one wants to hear that at 8 o'clock in the morning, to just hear you just talking about sales or whatever it is you're going to talk about. Involve the whole team. So you have LRCs, you have ASMs, you have advocates for everyone. Give them a couple of minutes at the meeting to go over their area of responsibility so that it keeps the meeting flowing and it keeps it fun. If I ever see someone doing this again, I'm going to explode. Do not read the playbook word for word. Come on now, all of y'all been there where you're just sitting there and someone is just reading, hey, little Johnny, read page 6. Okay, and they just read page 6. Come on. That is one of the worst things that you can do, especially that early in the morning. Bob Corbat, our terrific sales operations manager, takes a lot of time and puts together a PowerPoint outline for you. I would study that in conjunction with the playbook, and of course you're going to add your own store things, but study that and put that up on your screen or in front of your laptop or something like that so that you're prepared for that, because he lays out all of the really important things. He doesn't put anything on there that's not really, really, really important. So take your time, look at that PowerPoint, know where you're going to go. Don't read that word for word either. But he gives you different categories to really go through and stuff that, that he knows is going to be really, really important and looked at. It's important that you stay really organized because we've added a couple of things to playbook meetings that we're rolling out. One's already rolled out, one we're rolling out next week. So you really want to make really good use of those 2 hours that you have with your team. And it's less than 2 hours, right? Because we all know at about 10 minutes to 10, we start to scramble around and get the drawers in and everything like that. But one item that we're adding that you'll hear a lot more about is we're going to do accessory role plays and best practices. And we're going to videotape those. And Vish is going to be looking at those from every store, and he'll be taking the best from each district and posting those out there so that we can see all those great best practices when it comes to role playing and bundling and really hitting accessories. Remember, $90 is the mark this month, no doubt about it. Every store's got to hit that. So that's going to take some time, and you should be doing that within your playbook meeting anyway, role-playing. This month, we're really going to be targeting role-playing those accessories and having our accessory champions. So schedule your time out really, really good for that. The other thing is you have to send a business funnel, and we're recommending that you send that to us right after the playbook meeting. So that's going to take some time to discuss. Start demanding of your team that, hey, they shouldn't come and say, I don't have anybody this week. Everyone should have at least one lead that they should be giving you so that you send that funnel to your district manager and we get that over to Vish. And that's really important, guys, because once that goes over to Vish, he then engages the business team, the channel managers, to really go out and work those leads for us. there weren't a ton of stores that were in the green in net activations last month. So that's a little important piece that can turn into a big deal, because they can go work that lead and it could turn into from 3 or 4 lines that you thought, and maybe they get them approved for 30 lines, something like that. But you got to be consistent with that. Take time, discuss those business leads, and really demand from your team that they give those to you. I've said a lot already, but let me just give you these last minute thoughts. I used to always think about this when I did my playbook meetings way back in the day, ancient history, but your team should look forward to coming to your meetings. How do you create that, right? So right now in a lot of stores, not every store, folks know that they have to come to the playbook meeting, so they show up because they know they have to be there. How do you flip that script and have your teams get up at 7 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning on a Thursday and say, I can't wait to get to my playbook meeting this morning because I might get recognized for my performance last month. By the way, you should have recognition at every single meeting. Or I can't wait to hear what Donald or what Sarap or what Matt Bent, what they have to say this morning, because I know it's going to be something really good. I can't wait to get there. That doesn't happen overnight, but you can create that. All very creative people out there. Second thing is, you'll know what I mean by this. Let your hair down. Let your hair down. The playbook meeting is probably the only couple of hours of the week where you could step out of the manager mode, right? Where you can just really have fun with your team, work with them shoulder to shoulder, and they could really see the real you. You can step back into your coach or manager role right after, but those 2 hours is where your team should see the real you. You can be funny, upbeat. There's nothing around that. We always have to follow HR guidelines, right? But you can play trivia games and get people involved. That's really your time to do some special things and kind of just let your hair down a little bit. And that was actually going to be my last point. Have fun. Make your playbook meetings fun and engaging. If you're not good at talking in front of people, get good. See, there's a lot of people that can give you some good hints and tips. See me in terms of being able to present in front of people. So make sure that you are taking that time and plan. Now, some fun is just going to be spontaneous, right? But have some fun. Invite vendors in. Let them bring breakfast in, man. They do that all the time. We can't afford to get that, right? But make your meetings fun and interesting and engaging. You have 2 hours every week to do that. Spend at least, there used to be this rule of thumb as a trainer that for every hour that you would train, you would have to spend 2 hours preparing. I don't think you have to spend 2 hours preparing for your playbook meeting, or 4 hours if you use that rule of thumb, but you should spend at least an hour to go over everything and really have everything laid out. That way your team sees that you're organized, prepared, and they take it a lot more seriously, and they begin to look forward to coming to your meetings. That's all I got, guys. Hopefully this was some pretty good hints and tips for you. Please see managers in each district. You probably have 2 or 3 managers that do just spectacular playbook meetings. Maybe partner with them. Maybe take a playbook meeting off. Let your ASM or LRC run it, and you sit in on someone else's playbook meeting. That might be another little hint and tip. All right, Team Ramden, store managers, we'll talk to you soon.